Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game. With the red light on, I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low.
Hi, Jay Fallon. Thanks for listening to the Slippery Slope. So, unfortunately for Queensland, for the citizens of Queensland, unfortunately for Queensland Police, we've had another shooting just yesterday in Toowoomba. Uh, but there was actually a shooting just the day before in the small township area of Tolga, I believe it was. Anyway, I'll go through this headline here. We'll just discuss what's happening in Queensland. Uh, So, as you know, as I've spoken about before, Queensland had from 2022 to 2023, in that financial year, June to June, Queensland police had more shootings, shot more civilians than all other jurisdictions in Australia combined. I believe the number was 14. So I've discussed that at length, but that's what's happened. And then this financial year, the one just gone from 23 to 24, I could find there was 7 police shootings in Queensland through that period. 7, which is still, I think, it's still the highest amount, more shootings than, not necessarily in all other areas combined, but still more shootings than the other states, any states and territories. And then this financial year so far, which is only July and August, we've already had three shootings. So it's a little concerning. When I say a little concerning, it's very concerning. As I've already voiced my concerns and said what I think needs to happen, some of the things I think we need to look at without, without pointing the finger and blaming. This isn't to make accusations at the police on the ground who are there doing their job. They're put into a very difficult situation. However, we still need to have a look at at the bigger picture. What are the experience levels of the officers going in? Who's sending? If if let's ask the question, if officers who are inexperienced going into these highly volatile situations, why aren't more experienced officers going in with them? And do we have experienced officers left, enough experienced police left on the ground? Or was the attrition rate just far too great after the mandates were carried out and police just left en masse due to what the previous commissioner and also the police minister did because of their actions? So what's the experience levels for these police officers who have been involved with shootings so far? Let's just look at the ones even just this last in August and July. And if we're sending police junior constables with only 1, 2, 3 years experience, and we're ending up, is this the reason why we're ending up with more shootings than ever before? Is this the reason why? Because police aren't able to handle the pressures properly, maybe not being trained to de-escalate well enough. Like I said, not to point the blame, not to point the finger at the police on the ground who are put into difficult situations. They're trying to do their job. But we need to have a look at the bigger picture. The police leadership, from all of the officers, the leadership team within the Queensland Police Service need to have a proper look and answer serious questions, ask themselves serious questions, not just go into that mode where no, we're just going to be defensive, just constantly playing defense and defending officers no matter what. Let's look at the actions at QPS as a whole. Is there something they can be doing better? Something that we should be doing better? That's what they need to be asking themselves. Is training lacking? Is there no forethought? Is there no thought on what else we can be doing? Anyway, police alleged man shot twice by officers in Toowoomba, west of Brisbane, was armed and making threats. Okay, so they're alleging that acting superintendent Scott Stalhut said officers had no other option. No other option. That was it. This is the only option they had. That's what he's saying. No other option but to fire when they were called to Ruthven Street in North Toowoomba shortly after 5 p.m. on Monday. So this is yesterday. Today, I'm talking about this. This is the 6th of the 8th. This is in the morning. So this happened yesterday on the 5th of August, 2024. So he said, this acting superintendent said that there was no other option. The man is in hospital with life-threatening injuries, according to Queensland Ambulance Service. It's the second police shooting in Queensland in as many days. So, 2 days, two shootings. Will allege that person at the address was armed and threatening police, and as a result, police were left with no other option but to discharge their firearm. Superintendent Stalhut said, acting superintendent. Police were at the address. The person was armed, threatening police. As a result, police were left with no other option. I do find it concerning when straight away there was no other option, nothing else we could do. And I get saying that to the media, but I would hope that behind closed doors in the cold light of day, talking to other officers, other senior police, they're sitting there going, what else could we have done? Was there something else we could have done? Was there other action these officers could have taken? Did they put themselves in a situation where their back was against the wall? Did they have to be there? Was there no option no situation where they could have de escalated? No scenario where they could have de-escalated. Was there no scenario where they could have backed away, taken themselves out of this situation? Was it absolutely definitively no other option? So police were called to the Ruthven Street home for a welfare check. So Superintendent Starlight said he didn't know the man's condition, but that he was conscious when he was taken to Toowoomba Hospital. Two officers were also being treated for minor injuries. The superintendent said that the police knew the man. He said police were professional people who were well trained and highly vigilant. So this happened. Atherton Tablelands shooting. So yesterday, so like I said, this has actually happened. This report came out yesterday on Monday. So now they're talking about the shooting that happened on Sunday, on the 4th of August. So a man was shot in the abdomen by police in the Atherton Tablelands. Emergency services were called to bushland in Tolga after reports of an armed man. Police said the man approached an officer with a weapon before he was shot. He was flown to Cairns Hospital in a serious but stable condition. So, there's not a lot of information coming out so far about either things, especially about the Atherton shooting. I hadn't spoken about it. I saw the report earlier, a different report, but there was barely any information about it at all. And I thought, what can you say? Yeah, but some questions that I think we need to start asking Queensland Police Service, the hierarchy. The officers that have been involved in shootings in the last 12 months, what's the experience? How much experience have these officers had? Are these officers who are still constables within 1, 2, 3 years experience? Is that the ones who are out on the job, or are these senior constables with, who however many years experience? Have we lost so many experienced officers on the ground that we have no choice but to send out inexperienced officers all the time? Have we lost the ability to de-escalate a situation? Have we lost the ability to negotiate? Are we unable to take ourselves away from the situation? Are we placing ourselves in situations where we are left with no other choice? Is what is happening? Really concerned. I'd really love to know the experience levels of the officers who have been involved, not just one shooting, but all of the shootings over the last, let's go from, well, it's really started to escalate from that 2022. So looking at the experience levels from then till now, from 2022 till now, what is the experience levels of these officers? And is this one of the reasons why we've had so many more shootings? There's got to be more answers. Or is it purely just every shooting has been 100% justified, and it is just that we've got it's just the criminal element that's entered Queensland that has never been here before? Or is it mental health issues that have never arisen, haven't arisen like any other time frame? There's got to be an answer, and we've got to ask ourselves hard questions. Queensland Police Service, the Queensland government, this isn't just a police service issue. The Queensland government has to ask serious questions, has to ask questions that and face the facts that you may not like the answers. And like I said, this isn't to attack officers, individual officers, or even the Queensland Police Service as a whole. It's not to attack, but you have to ask questions. You have to face the facts. You have to face the truth that maybe there's other things that can happen. Maybe there are, if you look at everything as a whole, shootings as a whole, there are things that can change, that can help protect the citizens and police, because police officers don't want to be involved in shootings. They don't want it. It screws a lot of things up in your life. So if we can prevent these officers from getting in those situations where they feel that they are obligated to pull their firearm, isn't everyone better off for that? The police will be better off for that. But we've got to start asking ourselves questions, serious questions, taking these things seriously, and not just coming up and straight away, yep, everything's justified, no other choice but to pull their firearm and use their firearm. That was the only thing that they were able to do. We need to have a look at these things properly and truthfully. I don't know what else you can say. Well, that's my opinion. I'm Jay Fallon. And thank you for listening to The Slippery Slope. Please let me know what you think, and like and share this video. Thank you.
And say it isn't real, and please don't go away. Just give me one more day. What if I could? What if I could turn back time? I'd make you smile again. And if I could unbreak your heart, and we could start again. What if I could? What if I could turn back time? I'd make you smile again. And if I could unbreak your heart, and we could start again. We could start again. We could start again. We could start again.